Hey, want to hear my impression of a bird? Tweet, dang it. Tweet! Welcome back to Dread Canaries Against the Iron Storm. I'm Dread Canary, the game is Against the Storm, and we are playing on Iron Man, which is not a supported game mode. It's a set of rules that I came up with, and the rules of Iron Man are simple. We will play every difficulty twice until we lose. And if I do lose, I have to reset all progress and play the tutorial again because the tutorial counts as a loss if you abandon it or skip it. So, just to show, I have played the tutorial, the lowest 3 difficulties, each twice. So that is Pioneer, Settler, Pioneer, and Veteran. As you can see, we've got 100%. We've completed 38 deeds. And we've upgraded some, but I did rush my way up to get all of the racial-specific housing as fast as possible, leaving me a little bit behind on more basic upgrades, but I think housing is going to put us in good stead. So let's go ahead and go next to the ruined settlement. And we got 2 options here. We do want a caravan with 10, but I'm going to go ahead and go with this one because I really prefer lizards over harpies. We'll call ourselves something fun, something upbeat, something exciting, something like Tragedy. That sounds like a wonderful, pretty name. Tragedy. We got 2 embarkation points to work with. So with lizards, I'm going to go ahead and grab clay, and we'll grab some eggs. And let's go. And by clay and eggs, I just mean clay. Let's go. Did I do it again? Well, I think I might be screwing up this run, because I'm fairly certain that I forgot to upgrade my difficulty to Viceroy again. Which I just did. So, Veteran. Which, you know, not great, if true. To be fair, I did have a real rough night last night, so this is not going to go well, and maybe I'm just going to have to post this as an extra veteran game and call it good. Anyway, let's go ahead and grab a rain mill. We'll grab of these, I think I prefer the herbalist camp. And a smithy. That's a real rough set to start with. I'm having all kinds of problems with playing today. This is not good. I'm going to be real sad if I prepped 2 save files and it turns out that by accidentally picking the wrong difficulty, I invalidated both runs. But you know what? Mistakes happen, and I'm just going to keep going. We'll just play this one through, and if it invalidates the run, it just means I'm going to have to prep myself more for next week. And we'll call it good. It's all good. It's a good game, even if we're playing a little lower difficulty than we intended. We'll know in a moment. We will go ahead and get the fungal guides. So we've got the herbalist camp. That is going to make the herbalisms better. We're going to want only marked trees. Go. And then over here, do that. Yep. We're on the wrong difficulty. That's real annoying. But at this point, I'm not going to start over a second time because I've already messed it up twice. So we'll just continue. We'll just continue on and see how it goes for tonight. My bad. That's what happens when you try doing a challenge on 4 hours of sleep. Yeah, so... Whoops. Okay. So we don't have any real good building materials, which is always kind of rough. But we should be okay. We are only playing on veterans, so we should be able to win just fine. Go ahead and do that. Get ourselves some nice supplies going. Now, of course, the amount of resources in your starting zone aren't terribly high. So we'll go ahead and just start collecting them. Now, how are you guys doing in chat? You have a good week? I got basically nothing done that I wanted to, so it's kind of rough for me. So I'm hoping you had better. All right. You know, I think what we're going to do is we're going to actually go ahead and keep this one. We're just going to have 3 on Veteran, then we'll do 1 on Viceroy, which is actually going to put me in a worse position. Okay. Well, we've got a spam bot. Wish I knew how to delete that. Chat settings. Alright, well, I've gotten big enough that the chatbots are now trying to sell me stuff, which is not going to happen. I'd rather not have falsely inflated resources. Every 3 burnt blight rods lowers hostility by 10. While the hearth is corrupted, you're unable to sacrifice resources. That's great, but I prefer the 10% chance of bonus production at the expense of not being able to tell my guys not to eat specific stuff. I rarely use consumption controls anyway, so it's just a pretty big boost for not much cost. That works very nicely with my playstyle. Yeah, so what's going to end up happening here is because I'm doing 3 on Veteran and only 1 on Viceroy, I'm not going to get as big of a buff in terms of abilities before we go up to Prestige, and that's going to be a bit rough. But I'm kind of okay with that. I'm kind of okay with that being the penalty instead of having to restart at this point. Because Viceroy's not actually that much harder. I guess the last game didn't go well. So, chat, what happened was I accidentally forgot to increase the difficulty to Viceroy. And I did it again. So, I've got... So, we're not... We're going to try one where I'm kind of breaking my own rules, but not to the extent that it's going to actually benefit me. We're actually making it harder on myself by not increasing the difficulty in the long run. So I've decided to keep this run despite it being on a 3rd game on Veteran. Which, if you're on YouTube, I have now explained like 3 times. But of course, people watching live can't pause and rewind to earlier in the stream. Or I guess maybe you could. I don't know. I've never done it when I was watching someone live, but that doesn't mean it's impossible. Okay, now, rebuilding buildings in New Glades is typically good if you don't already have the exact building. In this case, I do have the rain mill, which gives us very efficient flour. And all this does is gives us flour barrels and packs of provisions. And normally packs of provisions is great, but we have not yet unlocked trade routes, which makes packs of provisions significantly less good than normal. And that makes it very tempting to just take the free resources. In fact, I think I am going to take the free resources. Who do I have in the hearth? Harpy. Ah, that's perfect. Out of what we have here, that is fine. And we'll go ahead and throw a Harpy in here. We'll say 10. Okay, these guys have chopped every tree that I've told them they're allowed to chop. So they helpfully warned me that they are currently useless. Let's go ahead and clean up this corner. Right there. There we go. I've got a comment that says it is beyond science. I'm not sure what that's responding to, but it is a world of Magitech rainpunk, so being beyond science would not be all that surprising to me. Let's go ahead and swap out one of these lizard woodcutters for a beaver. Go over here and drop another woodcutter, because I'll probably need it. And we're only at hostility 1, which lowers how much we can sacrifice in the hearth. But that's not really that much of a problem, because what I'm going to do is fire a couple of lizards and put them in this harvester's camp. You know, on Veteran, I think I will risk getting free lizards. When I get to higher difficulties, I don't really want to inflate my population, because more mouths to feed can be a problem, and that's more people that can be unhappy and can abandon the settlement. No good. But if I don't have that, like if I'm only on Veteran, then we can get people. And if I'm going to be if I'm going to be adding an extra Veteran and subtracting a Viceroy, we're going to need to stretch this out as much as possible, or at least get as much done as possible, to try to point max and try to get as many rewards as possible. Because sometimes you can get food supplies from caches that you find. Maybe. I did say sometimes. It's year 3 and we are having massive food problems because we are only eating off of what we get in the scavenger's camp. Bit of a problem there. So what we're going to do next is we're going to start cutting our way down this way. I'm going to have an inconvenient amount of building materials because I don't have a good way of getting them. Opening up 5 glades for 3 global resolve sounds pretty good, actually. And so does serving ale. Only beavers can drink ale, and I've only got 2 beavers, but we'll work on that. We know how much I love beavers. We'll get more. We've got the ability to make tools if we get a source of either spark dew or copper. Now, copper is pretty rare on the Royal Woodlands. You can't exactly mine it here, so you have to find it in, I think, clay deposits, or buy it from a passing trader, which you don't really want to be relying on traders for your supplies, but at the same time, what can you do? Do I not have a third wood chopper? I do. It's right here. What are you doing? Yeah. You didn't get the memo about only marked trees because I made you later. That's okay. We'll just carve out a little bit more in this area. In case it's obvious, we are certainly going to open up this glade next year. Let's go ahead and fire these guys. Got plenty of wood choppers. Let's go ahead and add more here. Building materials wise, we do need more planks before I can salvage that provisioner. Okay, now with harpies having housing, and lizards being pretty stable, I'm not too fussed about the idea of, well, I guess I should be. People are unhappy. Wow, people are very unhappy. Hello. Well, there's a couple ways to fix that. We can sacrifice in the hearth. We have tons of wood coming in. Let's do it that way. Yeah. No. Yeah, I'd rather clear out the space. Let's go ahead and sacrifice in the hearth. So we're going to just whoop whoop back down to hostility 0, and now nobody's unhappy with us. That's pretty good. I can keep all of my wood choppers chopping wood as we push to the south. Can we lodge a complaint against the bot there? The bot trying to sell viewers, I mean? Yeah, I'm not sure if we can, if there's a way to report it. Yeah, the channel's not big enough for me to have mods who can learn the mod settings. So, I hope there's a way to report that. But I haven't messed around with the controls enough to find out yet. Let's go ahead and get as many beavers as possible on woods for that sweet, sweet 10% bonus chance for double production. Or maybe it's a 10% chance for bonus production. There we go. That's how I should phrase that. Okay, so that's cleared out. And you know, at this point I'm a little bit behind on the expansions that I normally want to do. So I'm going to whoop whoop, just like that. Try to open up another glade, look for some more sources of food. Free tools when we find glades, that's pretty nice, but I don't want to take the resolve hit. Does that work? Chat's apparently teaching me about controls, so let's try this. So that's not how that works. Let's see if I can find it. Yeah, I don't see how to do that. So let's go ahead and just continue on for now. We're going to go ahead and take the over-diligent woodworker so I can get free barrels, which will help with needing leisure fulfilled if I can get a brewery. We've opened up this. Now let's see what we can use. Provisions, tools, cloth, that's all pretty rough. Hey, a brickyard's nice, though. I wouldn't mind having that. Let's go ahead and rebuild this brickyard. So what happens if I don't cover the ancient shrine? 5 dead villagers. Well, we do not want that. So what we're going to want to do, since I can't really make provisions, is I guess we want to do it with cloth. We have to do that with cloth. Yeah. Let's go ahead and grab this harvester's camp down here. Just like so. Put some lizards in it. And I don't think I've got a farm. Yeah, I don't have a farm unlocked. So we can't do anything about this fertile ground right now. So we're going to go ahead and move that. And then we do want a stonecutter's camp. Okay, so I need 3 more. Well, I've got 3 lizards who are currently unemployed. But what we want to do is deal with that. Oh, okay, there we go. Roots every time we discover a new glade. That seems useful. Global negative resolve. It seems okay. Let's go ahead and solve that issue. I'm very much aware that we are low on food. But I don't see much I can do to fix it. Let's go ahead and favor lizards real quick. This was the second glade event, so let's turn in this, which will give us a pile of people, but also... Wow, game really does not want to give me anything extremely useful this game, so let's go ahead and grab a cookhouse. We're going to move the crude workstation up this way. Put the makeshift post next to it. Because what we're going to want to do is put the cookhouse here. Oh, we have enough tools now. Alright. Let's go ahead and solve this just as soon as we can, so we don't get those dead villagers. Now, I could be taking this reputation, but the reason I want ancient tablets is because they sell well, and getting free incense is really good in the event we get the opportunity to... Wait, are those mushrooms? Those are mushrooms. In case we get the opportunity to provide religion. Because having free resources for a service is very nice. I actually said on Reddit earlier today to someone that was asking about it that, like, setting up service building supply chains is kind of a higher difficulty luxury that you don't have to worry about until you're into prestige. Like, it's nice, but you don't need it. Let's go ahead and delete this, because I've oriented that wrong for where I'm going to put my road. And it is very important to me that my roads line up nicely. That's also not where I wanted that. Wow, I am messing up everything today, chat. That's alright, though. Even when you mess up, you can still salvage. Okay. Lizards are pretty happy. Let's go ahead and do that. Yes, chat has said, get the shrooms! Yes, because my people are starving. And that's not good. Starvation's bad, you know. Just in terms of things you can learn from this channel. This channel is highly educational. You get to learn things like starvation is bad, and so is homelessness. Real important, you know, educational lessons that everyone should be aware of. You heard it here first. Now, if I can get a farmer, like any kind of farm, would really, really help. Chad's pointing out that I said, let's get those mushrooms, and then started talking about religions. They think the harpies use hallucinogenic fungi as part of spiritual ceremonies, which wouldn't surprise me, given the kind of world that we're in. Okay. So, I don't need ancient tablets for anything. And currently, I don't need resin for anything, and there's lots of resin in these trees. So I'm not going to worry about that. And we're going to go ahead and actually sell most of our wood at the same time. We don't need it. I think I know why I only have 10 cloth. It was a dumb mistake that I'm gonna have to go fix. So 36 ideally. I don't think I can get it. Maybe I can. Okay, what if I sold all of this, all of that, and then another 50 of that? Because then I can get my 36, but I can also get some basic food. Okay, one more log. There we go. But what I want is +1 mushroom growth, because this is going to be huge for getting food, and then woodcutters moving faster is just great. Lizards, can you... There we go. And now I can unfavor them, and now nobody's unhappy, and we have some food here. We're getting food from mushrooms and roots. Okay, that's great. We're not going to make any bricks. Just don't make bricks, because we're going to have a brickyard. And we're going to raise this to 25. We're going to raise this to 25, and that way we're not going to run into this kind of issue again, which should be good. Plus, now we have some copper bars. No. Yes, we do have copper bars. That is fantastic, because we've got a smelter. Or not a smelter, we've got a smithy. Okay. Happy lizards or a lot of decorations? Well, okay, but the decorations gives me boxes of crystallized dew, which I can use to make tools, because I've got a smithy. So that's what we're going to go with. We're going to grab aesthetics here. Let's go ahead and favorite lizards again. And part of what I want to do, I think what I want to do is I want to get 3 lizards in here. And we're going to say, yeah, use wood. But we're going to set a cap of just 1 lizard for now. We're going to set a cap of 5 to make sure that I still have some wood, because I did kind of sell all of my fuel supplies. Like all of them. Why isn't this getting built? Because we don't have any gears. Okay. So I can get gears by deleting a camp, but I really want all of my woodcutters. So that's not going to happen. Rotting wood. Okay, so I don't think I looked at my mysteries. Maximum sacrifice stacks goes down. Rotting wood means we cut faster, but we don't get anything for it. Burning cysts take longer, and global resolve goes down if we don't have coats equal to our number of people. That's going to be a problem. That's going to be a real problem. For now, let's go ahead and remove some woodcutters. Now, by doing that, we're now getting wood, which is, you know, nice. But I think we need to not. Okay, that doesn't quite get us low enough. How much fuel do I have? And it's 40 per minute? Huh. It might be worth burning 1. Yes. And you know what? We are going to delete one of these, just so I can start getting fuel from here. So that should be okay. So we'll re-add our woodcutters. But also, I do need to open up another glade. So the question is, which glade is the best for me to try to open up this year? I don't really want to do another small glade. So, I guess we are going to do this. Trade route slot. Do I actually have trade routes? I do have trade routes. I didn't think I had those unlocked yet. That's useful to know. I'd rather get that, I think. And here, I'm feeling a nice balanced mix, so that's what we're going to do. Let's go ahead and put these guys on making bricks, because I'll need them. And let's go ahead and whoop that, and we'll whoop this as well, just to get it built. Let's add some lizards and tell them to make this out of sea marrow. We're going to raise it to 10. How am I looking for employment? Decent. How are we looking on building materials? Okay, so we can take this apart. This map is not going well. But I mean, it's okay. This whole stream's not going well. That's all right. You just gotta deal. Just gotta deal. Low on food. Okay. Well, 4 minutes means that a trader is going to show up sometime before the next storm. We're on year 5. We're having massive food issues. What else can I be doing? Well, for one thing, I can put a harpy in here, and we can put a beaver in here. So we can make some tools. And that's going to open up the ability for us to use these caches, which should help us in a few other ways. You know, what else I can do is I can... We want 1, 2... 1, 2... I think cloth is probably our best bet. And we'll put a lizard in that, so we can work on finishing another order, because the queen's getting pretty impatient with us. We haven't done a whole lot yet. Rotate these guys around. Prep the farm field. Now I think I actually don't want to quite open that, because we're already partway through clearance, so that order is just going to have to wait another year, but what that should let me do... am I still happy burning anything? I'm not. Perfect. I'm also not perfect. Haha! Dumb puns. I really like dumb puns. I like puns much more than they deserve. You know, I don't think I need to be highlighting all of these. And I really should have people make housing. Do some of that. And I like the new park, so let's drop a park. I think I said last week that I don't so much like the garden, but I like the park. So we'll do that, and now we can fire this lizard. Okay, more cloth, some parts. Ooh, some parts means I can rebuild that woodcutter's camp that I deleted for parts earlier. That's helpful. Wow, they really don't want to give me anything useful. Jeez. I guess we'll pick up a cellar. Hey, you don't have food, do you? No. We can make drizzle longer. That could be useful. Traders arriving faster could also be useful. Can I get 35? make drizzle longer. We're going to make traders show up quicker. We're going to go in here. We're going to swap that over to using just the fuel that we're getting here, the sea marrow. We are still having food issues. Oh, we need 30 purging fire in the blight post, do we? Okay. Let's go ahead and make a little bit more. But I don't want to expand that too fast. The reason I don't want to expand that too fast is I don't want them using all of my fuel for blight fuel. Okay, there we go. And we're going to move this over here. And we're going to... Firing those guys doesn't do enough. So we're going to do this for now. And get our last couple of orders. 3 dangerous glades, solve 2 glade events, gives us more accurate smelting, which probably won't matter, and copper ore, which is nice, or get packs of crops. Let's go with this and hope we can find a farm. 6 ancient tablets. I don't think I like it. I think I'm going to go with the lizard majority here. Because we're pretty close to it already. And it will give us an infusion of food. So that's solid. Didn't notice the scavenger's camp was out of stuff. Doesn't make our food problems any better when the scavenger's camp doesn't have any food to grab. All farms can plant mushrooms. Could be nice, but I'm going to go with the free barrels. And let's see here. We need 3 lizards, so we'll get that pack. And then what we're going to do is we're going to take this, where you can't do anything. We're going to fire these beavers. We're going to put lizards in here because they like being in warm places anyway. Throw some beavers up here. Cut through to that glade. These lizards don't have anything to chop down. Okay. Might as well build some more housing. Nice. Okay. Run that around the back like so. And then we do need some of this aesthetic housing. Or not housing, this aesthetic buildings. So let's go ahead and just 1, 2, 3, 4. That looks nice to me. Okay, we've opened up another glade, which still doesn't have food in it. It does have a butcher, which would let me process meat if I had meat. But hey, we can get some jerky out of it. I don't think I want to, though. What can we use for this? We can use tools. I think we have to use tools. Yeah, I feel like we have to use tools for this. Let's go ahead and do that. Okay, now this is a lot better. I'm going to go with the lumber mill, I think. Yeah, we'll go with the lumber mill out of those two. This way, we'll move this way, and then what we're going to do is put that lumber mill right Does it make sense to do that? Not really. Like, I don't need to be leaving a space for a road, but I feel like leaving a space for a road just looks better in terms of, like, city blocks go. Which, I don't know if you should be playing based on what's aesthetically pleasing, but we are only on veteran because of that misclick. So, yeah, I think we're alright. And let's go ahead and increase to 30. Because we have a quest that requires 30, so that should be fine. We can build a cellar back here. We continue to be low on food, but that's not unexpected. But still, any farm building would be very welcome. Woodcutter's camp has no trees nearby. Well, what if I told you to just chop all of these and we call that good? Now, I don't know if I want the butcher. I've already got a good way to make skewers. But getting access to jerky and oil could be nice. I don't think I've got access to those things currently. Yeah. Yeah, we don't. So rebuilding, that's probably the best option. Having more buildings is always good. Let's go up here, and yes, let's go ahead and take this for the ability to make tools. It's going to make my people sad, but such is life. Of course, had I known about this carpenter, I wouldn't have taken the lumber mill. I've taken the leather worker, because then the carpenter would have filled in my last gap. But, you know, that's just how it goes. That's just how it goes. Let's go ahead and rebuild this one. Hey, we got this done, so I can get some more purging fire, some more sea marrow, and of course some more parts. That gives us another blueprint, which we can use for a temple. Okay, yeah. Now that is as high as we can get this hub, so I should probably start thinking about a second hub. Here looks really good, so let's go ahead and schedule that. Just clear out a nice little space for it. Move these guys over here. And you know, I'm actually going to fire some woodcutters to lower hostility. Don't worry, I mess up my life every day. Thanks, chat. That actually does help. If playing for aesthetics pleases you, then that is the correct way to play, right? Thank you. That's what I've been saying. You don't have to optimize for efficiency. You can optimize for what makes you happy. That seems to be the whole reason to play games, as far as I know. Like, I suppose you could play to master a skill, but it's a video game. It's not like it's not like there are world championships of Against the Storm that I can get into. Oh, Jorg, you sexy, sexy man. You've got a farm? Well, I'm gonna have to buy that. Yes, okay. I can sell all my resin. I don't think I need that. I can... What else can I sell here? I don't want to sell my tools because it's already hard enough getting tools. I think I do want to sell planks. We'll sell 28 planks because I can make them pretty efficiently now. There are no Against the Storm World Championships yet. Yeah, good call. I mean, the game is still in early access. Like, it's not even officially released yet. Lizards, meat, need for jerky fulfilled, and harpy houses. So, need for jerky fulfilled. Let's get some jerky. let's buy out all the jerky. And to buy out all the jerky, I think I'm willing to sell one part. And then, you know, let's get some extra eggs in here. Maybe just one extra egg. There we go. Cool. Cool, 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 cool. Everything's fine now, because what we're going to do is we're going to move this over here. I mean, it's not fine now. We can't actually use these farms for another year. But we have the farm, and that is good, because now we've got a stable way to move forward. We have an actual, like, plan, which is something we haven't had for a while. Let's go ahead and make a path just right around here. And I think a path right there looks good. And we're going to just drop a nice little warehouse right there. And then up here, going to do a nice little lightning bolt thing. I guess we can make it all the way around. And I'm going to drop a warehouse directly behind this farm. There we go. Now this warehouse is very close to that warehouse, and it's probably unnecessary, but having warehouses on top of your... Having warehouses right on top of your farms is a great idea. Farms and mines, because get those trips down. The reason I said no is because there's more farmland up here that as soon as I clear out this space for a hearth, we're going to go clear out this and figure out where between these two I can put another warehouse. And that's going to be much better. Having an explosion of houses is going to let us mass produce biscuits, plus mass produce roots. And remember, roots are going to give us free incense, which we can then turn into religion, which sadly, no hallucinogenic religion for the harpies. The only ones that are religious here are the lizards. But you know what? I will take it. Did that get fixed? It's about to be. It's very, very good. I think what I'm going to do is I think I'm going to have harpies be my farmers. In this area, at least. Oh, there's so much that the Stonecutters Camp can do now. That's great. Let's go ahead and go there. And these guys are out of trees to cut, so if I move it, let's just move it over here. Can I now fit that hearth where I wanted to? Right. Yes, I can. Yes, we can. Nice. Okay. So road around the side, road up here, road like that. That looks very good. I have a harder time envisioning lizards doing mushrooms to get visions. Yeah, well, I mean, they don't, right? Like, they just burn incense for their religious practices. So they're not, you know, they're not doing mushrooms. That's the whole point. Okay. Everybody out of the wood chopping camps. Everybody out. I'm not cutting down trees just to cut down trees. I'm not doing that. Everybody, get out. Do this, and I think we will have. So we'll. You know what? Let's do one farm of each. Okay, that should work. I never put anyone in here to make planks. No wonder I'm running out of planks. But we should be fine on fuel for a while. Yeah. So that's good. Burn incense is a metaphor for smoking herbs. I mean, kinda. Right. Okay, so people are showing up during the middle of the storm because I made the drizzle longer, and people come on a set timer, unlike the yearly cornerstones, which come every drizzle. So I'm just not going to take them, because if I take them, it's going to increase us to hostility 2. And now I can take them. There we go. We can rehire our beavers. Go ahead and do that. And since I'm rehiring beavers, I don't think this should be beavers. I think this should be lizards, because I'm going to need every beaver that I can on wood. Yes. Yes, okay. And then we've got the lumber mill. Let's set a cap on planks at 100. And we're going to set a cap on flour at 500, which is ridiculous, but we're going to do it anyway. We're going to set a cap on fabric here of 50 because we're doing it really inefficiently. Fabric is the only one that we're really making poorly. Let's say we want to use all the clay and then use the stone, and we're going to set this at 102. Ooh, 3 plant fiber per minute. Love it. Okay. That definitely means when we use the term happy burn. Nice. Yes. Yeah, we definitely do mean that when we use the term happy burn. That's 100% accurate. I can't argue with the logic, because you're simply correct. Simply correct. Okay. We have opened up another glade. What can we do here? Oh, this one. Well, time to cause ourselves some food issues. Now, I'm going with this because I want the extra food stockpiles. Remember, I'm playing too many games on a low difficulty, which means that we're not going to get as many rewards, so it's important to get as many Citadel rewards as possible. Now, as soon as you start working on this, you immediately get 2 living matters, which consume your food, and that's not great, but the rewards for combating living matter is pretty solid, so I'm not too fussed about it. Well, we already have the ability to make biscuits, so this just gives us pie. Copper bars require us to have copper ore, which I'm not too worried about. I think I'm going to go with the leather worker here, just so we can get some more efficient building materials, which means we're going to move this crude workstation over here, and we're going to drop a leather worker right where that was. Actually, can I squeeze it in? No. Right where that was. That's perfect. And you know, this can go here, where it'll look just a little bit nicer. We have plenty of cloth, so I'm actually going to tell these guys, hey, stop building anything. And get out. We're going to delete this building. Yeah, I knew we were going to be low on food because I've got 2 living matter that's consuming my food for me. But on the other hand, I should be able to get that finished just in time for us to get to harvest. So we shouldn't be losing too much from our nice new herb gardens. And that reminds me, I should probably... I don't have the spare people, but I do want to start making... Well, for one thing... We want to start making flowers, or not flowers, flour out of roots, so we can start making biscuits, because both beavers and harpies like biscuits. Lizards not so much. Lizards prefer meat and pie, but just getting 2 good foods going should be very nice. Scavenger's camp is empty, so let's shift this down here. Old Farlef is here. You can... Okay, Smelter... Not bad. +3 Beaver Resolve is pretty good, too. I don't think you've got anything else I desperately need. Nice. It's always a good idea to buy blueprints if you can. Like, even if it's not a great blueprint, just having it takes it out of the roulette. So any future buildings you unlock are more likely to be useful. Plus, I mean, there's you can find some use for the smithy. Or the smelter, even if it's not going to be producing things you directly need. Oh, hey, look at that. We can turn that into a farm field. Nice. Yeah, I definitely don't want this building. This is a terrible building. So I'm going to send... No, I'm going to wait until these guys... There we go. Let's send them to tear it apart for parts. Woodcutter's camp has no suitable trees nearby, huh? Okay. Well, what if I swung it around to this side and we tried to free up more space around this hearth? Seems like a good expansion policy. Meanwhile, up here, we've almost cleared out another section. Plus, if I move this around to this side, we can put the warehouse... No. I think I want the warehouse here. Yeah, that'll work. Which means that this is a perfect spot for a park. I really do like the new park. I know I already said that, but I like it. I like that you get a bigger garden area with fences around it. That counts as 4 aesthetic buildings. Okay, let's go ahead and fire these guys. At this rate, my next pack of villagers will show up during the clearance next year. Got tons of tools, which is very nice. And what I want to start doing is I do want to put some harpies in here to make, well, beavers would like working it, so I might as well. They're going to like making flour. And then if I go in here, I can put a pile of lizards on making biscuits, which will give us complex food for 2 of our races. That's pretty good. Alright, now, that is going to be the end of the video here. So, if you are still with me on YouTube, I very much appreciate all the time you spent with me. Please go ahead and hit like, subscribe, put suggestions down below, comments, ideas for future videos you'd like to see that I can fill in between against the Ironstorm runs, because I don't want to just endlessly climb the ladder. I would love to demonstrate other things if you're interested in it. Remember, you can catch me live on Friday nights at 9:30 Eastern, and occasionally I will go live at other times, though the rest of my schedule is currently in flux. Regardless, I'm glad you're here. I appreciate all your time and attention, and I hope to see you in the next one. Have a nice day.